So I wanted to do something a little different and do like a 10-minute follow along ruck walk. So if you have like 10 minutes where you just want to get a ruck walk in and you want to listen to some random ramblings from me about rucking and walking and everything, you can just follow along for 10 minutes in this video, and you know you got a quick 10-minute ruck walk in just by the end of this video. So I grabbed my ruck, just my generic Amazon ruck I talk about. I got my weighted plate in there. Don't know if you can see it. Sorry, weird camera angle. But yeah, so give me 1 second to put this on, and then we're gonna get our 10-minute timer started. So 10 minutes ago, we'll just do some things along this walk here and see the different ways we can not only add to our walks by just adding weight, whether it be a ruck with various things you use to fill your ruck with a weighted vest, or just supplementing with different kinds of movement and play during your walk. So how can we accessorize our walk? I like to walk in the evenings the best, when the sun is setting, but I gotta get out of my backyard and away from my house, because that seems to be where all of the mosquitoes in the world live. So we are walking to a dead-end road that we got down the street here, so it'll be a little less traffic, hopefully less noise. But I like to try to keep a pretty fast pace, 3+ mile per hour, if I can. That's good for my, just under 5'4" body. So my stride is kind of short. I'm 5'5" on a good day, but not quite there. I'll have to get like a stabilizing camera mount or something for these walks too. That would be pretty cool. But try to keep your tempo up. Normally I try to practice nasal breathing. If I can do an even count in and out, or do a 4 count or so in, I count them by my steps. So 4 in and then 4 out. I can't do nasal breathing so well talking on a video the whole time, but I do like to try to practice nasal breathing that way. So I'll do that a few times. We'll do 4 steps, 4 count in with the step, 4 steps, 4 count out with the steps. And of course there's ways you can change it up. You can do 5 counts in, 5 counts out. You could do a certain number of steps in and then hold for a certain number of steps and then try to do a longer out. So another one I like to do is that 4, 5, 7. So 4 count or 4 steps in, hold for 5, and then 7 count breath out, which can be pretty taxing, pretty difficult to do when you're walking at a decently fast tempo and you got weight on your back or on your body, or carrying a rock. I like doing that too. So that one would be, again, 4 in, 5 hold, 7 out. So and you'd go just like that. Oh, let me get across the street here before I get ran over. Another good way to pick up tempo. Some other things I like to do to spice up my walks: if I find a rock laying around, pick it up and carry it on my shoulder, doing curls, lat raises, presses, or just pinch gripping it and walking with it. Or I was saying earlier, you can practice your side steps both ways, right? Turn, side steps, side shuffles, or just good old walking backwards. So this dead end road is actually a really big hill, and I love walking backwards up this hill, especially with the weighted ruck on my back. That's a pretty good quad burn. And it takes a lot of the impact out of going up and down a hill too, backwards walking. So I know in some previous videos, several of us have done the sandbag carries up and down stairs. And going backwards down the steps, it's a little scary. Takes some balance, some coordination. Don't do it if you don't feel comfortable with it. But going backwards down steps, even if you don't have a sandbag on you, it does actually take a lot of the impact out of the knees going backwards down steps. So it works different parts of your leg. It's a very different stimulus, and it takes that hard impact out of your knees too. So it's pretty interesting. It works on your balance, stabilization, core, all that kind of stuff. So again, I'm just rambling here for 10 minutes for our 10-minute follow along ruck walk. Another reason why I like ruck or weighted vest, one of the things I talked about in my very long post that's currently pinned right now, but you can search for it in the search bar whenever it gets unpinned. So a ruck life is posture. You want to have a proud posture when you're walking with the weight. You don't want to turtle back it or find yourself arching back for some reason either. It can help you realize your posture. It can help correct posture. It definitely can make you work some of your stabilizing muscles in your core, all to help with posture. Another thing I think that it helped me with more than anything was how I strike, like my heel strike or how I walk with my feet. I think I walked super heavy at the beginning of my ruck journey. I maybe only had 10 pounds or a random bag filled with a couple books, and it was less than 10 pounds. And I found that my feet and my knees were so banged up by the end of it. And if I put earbuds in or something, I could just hear the heavy thuds of my feet when I was walking. And I could just feel it with that extra weight bearing down on me. Like, I walked so heavy, right? Now I walk for miles and miles and miles all day, every day in barefoot shoes or completely barefoot. And I ruck almost every single day, if not every day. And my knees don't hurt. My feet don't hurt. If I wear earbuds, it doesn't sound like a dinosaur is like stomping in my ear. And I can just tell by the way it feels or even the way it sounds now. It's just perfectly quiet. Like, I've learned either a lighter heel strike or more of a midfoot strike, almost like I'm practicing some kind of light running. It's interesting. So I feel like it can make you more cognizant of that. And then if you keep being reminded of it, right, you're more likely to try to correct it, especially if it's bringing you discomfort and it's being brought to your attention so you can address that discomfort and where it's stemming from, right? So we're almost to the end of this giant hill. Here's the dead end, and then all that up me is a giant hill. So once I reach the end here, it'll be my backwards walk all the way up. And this one's nice in the evening too. Definitely something in the woods right there beside me. Don't know what that was. Alright, so now we're walking backwards. Of course, do your backwards walking and or rucking in a safe place. Please, if there's a lot of traffic, don't do it. If it's super uneven territory or there's a lot of debris or potholes in the road, sidewalk, super uneven, anything like that, please just be aware and don't do it. Like right now, even though this is a dead-end road, lucky me, there's a car, so I'm going to turn around and walk forward for a minute until I know what this car is doing, just to be safe. But I will say that walking backwards definitely brings about a bit of spatial awareness. You're actually turning your head, which is a lot of stuff that we don't do that much anymore. People don't have to turn their heads much anymore. We have backup cameras in our cars, you know. We have all these special mirrors and cameras and phones everywhere we go. We don't have to turn our necks as much anymore. So a bit of spatial awareness, a bit of that side to side neck motion. You can alternate looking over your shoulder. I can actually like see behind me. Look, I can use my camera right now and not turn my head and just use my camera to look behind me. But I don't want to do that. I want to get that head rotation in. I want to use my ears, my senses, get my neck rotations in, and look about me and have that spatial awareness and that little bit extra motion in while I'm walking backwards. But again, please do it in a safe area. If cars are coming, turn around. People might look at you funny, but don't let that deter you. And that was it. 10-minute follow along ruck walk. So I'm going to complete my walk this evening, but you got your 10 minutes in. It's a great job. We'll do maybe some shorter videos, some longer videos in the future, and hope somebody can enjoy this. So see y'all later, stronger humans.